teachers. Today we're working on follow-up surveys for the competition. So I am going to share my screen and share a presentation about follow-up surveys. So we're going to talk about how you will go about doing those. And basically they will pretty much be the same as your initial surveys. You want to make sure that you are going to be surveying the same people and asking the same questions so that you can see the differences that you made by educating the community. As I'm sure you know by now, the competition will allow students to investigate, educate, and report on a water issue in their community. It is open to kindergarten to grade 12 students across Canada. The project must take place in Canada. There's one national grand prize valued at $3,000 for the top school in Canada in the kindergarten to grade 8 category, and another national grand prize with the same value for the top school in Canada in the grade 9 to grade 12 category. Each national grand prize will include a water bottle filling station, a commemorative plaque, and maybe some reusable water bottles and or water testing kits. It depends on how much that water bottle filling station will cost your school. There will also be a prize package for the top school in Saskatchewan, valued at $2,200, that includes a water bottle filling station and commemorative plaque. And we've had very widely different situations in terms of the cost of the water bottle filling stations. There was one school in Saskatoon that won, and they fundraised less than $1,000 on their own to add to it, and they were able to get 3 water bottle filling stations. However, there was a school that won in Ontario, and they could not even get a water bottle filling station for $3,000. So they ended up using their prize funds to get the plaque and to get some reusable water bottles and water testing kits, and even to donate some of the water testing kits to other schools. About the competition, you have hopefully already conducted your preliminary survey. We had said that around November would have been a good time to do that, and then decided on a topic on which to focus. So probably around December, inform the community, so January to March. So that is what we should currently be working on, probably. And then the follow-up survey, we're getting you ready for this. I'm thinking early April. It'd be great to have your follow-up surveys done before the Easter break, if your school has an Easter break. And the report's tentative due date is April 28, 2023. So in the follow-up survey, you will follow up with the same questions after you've informed your sample group to see the difference you have made. In the report, your class will create a report that presents what you have learned about your topic and what you did to change people's attitudes and behaviors. It will be submitted through our website, through the Student Action Competition webpage, and will be reviewed by a panel of judges as well as SDWF staff members. Based on the report, the judges will determine the winners of the grand prize. Are there any questions at this point? So continuing on. So the follow-up survey. So once you have educated the community, you will return to the same people that you initially surveyed the first time and ask them the same questions to see what they learned. So for someone's data to be counted, you need to have given them the initial survey, have educated them, have provided them with some time to change their attitudes and behaviors, and then have given them the follow-up survey. So be sure to ask the same questions that were on your first survey to see how attitudes and behaviors have changed. Ask the same people who took the first survey. Only people who have completed the first survey and were part of your community education should take the follow-up survey. If someone didn't complete the first survey and did not see any educational materials, then they could participate if you give them the initial survey and talk to them about your issue and allow them some time to change their attitudes and behaviors. So remember that for them to properly take the initial survey, they need to have not been educated already about the topics. It is important to keep track of everyone who takes the initial survey. It is only possible to see how attitudes have changed if the participants have completed the first survey, learned about the water issue, had some time to change their attitudes and behaviors, and then completed the follow-up survey. If any of those components are missing, then that participant's answers cannot be used. To distribute your survey, that will be based on how you have kept track of the participants who took the first survey. So you might be able to send an email. So if you emailed people the initial survey, then you have their email addresses, and it will allow you to easily pass your survey to friends and family. If you have a Gmail account, then this nicely records the answers of everyone who completes your survey if you use a Google form. You could also hand out a paper copy of the follow-up survey to your audience, and this will give you the chance to explain your questions if needed. You could also do it face to face, just talk to your friends and family, ask them your questions, and write down their answers. And again, we do not want the students to be talking to strangers, or especially not if they're in small groups or by themselves. It's okay if you've got, parent volunteers and teachers and several students and you're at a public place like a store or a library, but you don't want to have them going door to door or anything like that and talking to strangers in small groups or individually. There is important data to keep track of for your final report, and you can find the form where you'll put your final report and where you'll submit your information for your final report on the website, on the 2022-2023 Student Action Competition webpage. So you'll need to keep track of the number of people surveyed, the number of people in different age groups that you've surveyed, ages 0 to 21 versus others, how many people are volunteering, how many teachers and how many students are involved. So these will be important to report on to meet the competition criteria and to do well in the competition. For the calculations, for example, of the number of people who knew where their water comes from, here are some examples for calculating percentages. So from the 347 people who completed the initial survey, 229 people correctly answered, from where does your water come, for example. So to find the percentage of participants who were correct, you would divide the number of participants who are correct by the total number of participants. That gives you a decimal number. Then you can multiply that by 100 or move the decimal point over 2 places to the right, and that will give you your percentage. So say in this school, when asked again in the follow-up survey, 332 out of 347 participants, and notice that's the same number because they surveyed the same people who they surveyed for their initial survey. So 332 out of 347 participants answered correctly. So the percentage of correct participants is equal to the number correct over the total number, and then you do that division, you get the decimal number, and you then move the decimal point 2 places to the right or multiply by 100 to get the percentage. Here are some questions to think about when you are educating your community, doing the follow-up survey, doing a report. So it's not only water conservation that is important, we need to have safe drinking water. So what are some causes of water pollution, and particularly in your own community? Where does water pollution potentially come from? Who uses water before it comes to your home? And what needs to happen for the water to be drinkable? You might also even consider taking your students on a tour of your local water treatment plant. Are there any questions? So the tentative due date, please let me know if you are actively working on a project and you'll need a little bit more time. But the tentative due date for the final report is Friday, April 28th, 2023. So it would be great, like I say, if you are able to conduct your follow-up survey right before the Easter break, perhaps. And then when you come back to school after the Easter spring break, you can analyze the data and put together your final report. So the grand prize, again, there are 2 national grand prizes of $3,000 for the top school in the kindergarten to grade 8 category in Canada and the top school in Canada in the grade 9 to grade 12 category. So each national grand prize will include a water bottle filling station, a commemorative plaque, and possibly some reusable water bottles and or water testing kits. A prize package for the top school in Saskatchewan will also be awarded. It has a value of $2,200 and it includes a water bottle filling station and a commemorative plaque. If the top school or schools in Canada is or are located in Saskatchewan, then the second or the third place school in Saskatchewan will win the prize package valued at $2,200. So the same school will not receive a grand prize and the Saskatchewan prize. So in that case, the Saskatchewan school that is top in the country would receive a grand prize, and the next Saskatchewan school would receive the $2,200 prize. So in the picture, you can see a prize package that was given to Pike Lake School in Saskatchewan, and they received a water bottle filling station and a commemorative plaque. Thank you for joining today and for taking part in the competition to raise awareness about water issues. Thank you to all the educators who are engaging their students in environmental education. It is so very important with the climate crisis. Thank you to Weston Family Foundation and RBC for their help, their funding, and their support. And thank you to the students for their participation and involvement. Our next webinar will be in April. So we will have webinars about once per month, and it will be about the final report. Only the teachers who have registered to compete in the 2022-2023 Student Action on Canadian Water Attitudes competition will be invited to the webinar. So if you know other teachers who are interested, have them sign up, because the links, the information they need to join the webinar is only being sent to the people who have registered at this point. Recordings of the webinars will be available in case there's a day you are unable to attend. Any information you need will also be on our website on the 2022-2023 Student Action Competition webpage of our website. Attending webinars also allows you to chat with us about any immediate questions you have, or if there is anything you are unsure about. You can also bounce around ideas with us and other schools. So if you'd like to contact us directly, if you have any questions, need help, or would like the opportunity to chat about your project, please feel free to contact me. I'm actually a high school math teacher. I teach at an online school, and I would be more than happy to help you with the math for your project. That is our contact information in case you ever need to mail something to us. You can also phone me at 306-934-0389. You can email me, or you can access the website. The phone number goes directly through to my cell phone because most of the time I work from home, but sometimes I'm in the office. If you have any final questions, definitely get in touch and ask me those questions. Otherwise, best of luck with your project and have a great day.